We are coming to you with another review show. This time, Wally's up, and what did you pick?
I picked 2011's Immortals. It has Henry Cavill, Stephen Dorff,
Henry Cavill?
Cavill. I don't know how to say his name. I
Isn't
don't
it
care.
Cavill?
Whatever.
Cavill.
People know who he is.
Do
Superman.
they? Do they know Cavill?
And Mickey Rourke. And then other people whose names look familiar and faces look familiar, but I don't know.
What Dorff? Stephen Dorff?
Yeah. What was he? Zeus? Who was he?
He was the drunk friend.
He was the thief.
Stavros. Okay.
Stavros.
Stavros Gillis?
Yes.
Stavros.
The
Luke.
Zeus. Zeus looked really familiar.
He was Luke.
Yeah, he's
Evans.
somebody.
Luke Evans.
He's somebody.
Was he in Game of Thrones? Or
No, he's just been in a bunch of things.
yeah, I can't place him
Fast
where
and
I know him.
Furious?
No, probably not that, but so I did actually look up a little bit of research. This movie made just under double its budget, so that's not terrible. It's
Did
not
it make
like
over 100 mil?
it made 250, I think.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, the
That's
budget
good.
was 125 or so. Uh,
How did this make money? Was the trailer good?
the trailer, I remember the trailer. It looked good, but I didn't go see it. So
Wow.
So we open up on a prison that's filled with chained up warriors, and we see a man who shoots an arrow at the prison, breaking it open.
Like
And
a light arrow.
yes, an arrow made of all light.
An arrow
And
made of
then-
light.
We see the Oracle, who apparently has a name, but I just call her Oracle. She wakes up from her dream. She had a vision, and she says that King Hyperion seeks the Epirus bow to rule mankind by destroying the prison that's holding the Titans. The Titans, in case you don't know Greek mythology, were related to the gods somehow.
They were the see now. Have
They
you
were
ever
like the first children of Kronos, and the
Yes.
gods were the second children of Kronos.
Well, it started with Kronos it was Uranus, and then Uranus's child was Kronos, and then Kronos was a Titan. If you'd ever play the piece of media that did this better than anyone,
God of War.
yes, all of this stuff is so well laid out in the God of War game series. It's so good. God of War did this better than any other movie or anything. But
the Titans were Uranus and Gaia.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, no,
okay.
the Titans were the gods' parents. So Poseidon, Zeus, Athena, Ares, their
Cronus was
parents,
one of them.
yes, were the Titans. And the Titans were Kronos, and there's that famous painting of Kronos eating his children.
But that's eating the gods. That's not eating the Titans.
No, he was eating the gods because the one that got away was Zeus.
Was Zeus? Yeah.
Because he ate a stone instead.
Yeah. Gaia helped Zeus escape,
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, we get a little bit of a voiceover describing the war between the gods of Olympus and the Titans. And during that war, the Epirus bow was lost, so no one knows where it is. We see Hyperion, who arrives at the Oracle's temple, and he is played by Mickey Rourke. He doesn't care that he risks the wrath of the gods because he lost his faith in them when his wife and children died from disease. So that's his motivation, is fuck the gods because my wife and kid died. He wants to free the Titans to end the reign of the gods, and then he sets the priest on fire.
As you would.
Yep. We go to Theseus. He's chopping wood, and he's getting advice about being a good warrior from Old Man, who was named Old Man in the movie.
Played by John Hurt.
Yep. His mother is working in the labyrinth, but she's pushed in the water and called a slut. And when she comes out, Theseus
cool.
knows. Yeah, Theseus knows that, or notices that she's wet, and he's obviously not happy about it. But the two of them walk home. We hear an alarm bell get rung, and the village is told that Hyperion is on his way.
And now, their home is like
In a
built in.
cliff face.
It's a city carved out of a mountain.
Let's not do it on top of the cliff, right into the cliff.
Yeah.
Of course.
There's Native American tribes that were built into cliff faces and stuff like that in the
Overhanging,
southwest.
Overhanging an ocean or a sea.
No.
Very
Okay.
safe. Very safe. No one can get there, Mike. I
A
don't know if you
sea
know
of oil, I guess. We'll see. We see later.
That's something else, though, isn't it?
That had
Cut
nothing
that
to
whole
do-
thing out.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
Cut
at all,
that whole part out of the movie.
but, so
It's like the Canto Bite scene of Star Wars. Like, don't need this. Get rid of this.
the villagers are told that they need to flee, and everyone starts packing up to leave to get to Mount Tartarus.
What more, like, you're carved out of the side of a mountain with an ocean in front of you. How much more secure are you going to get?
Well, I feel like they didn't have any kind of like actual soldiers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
that's why they
guess.
walk in.
Yeah, they were going to get the protection of the actual
I'm
Greek
grasping at straws here.
army. Yes.
There's not a lot to go off of.
Theseus and his mother are told that they have to wait until the next day to walk with the other poor and undesirable people. Lysander is a soldier. He insults Theseus's mother, so Theseus kicks his ass.
He kicks like 18 people's asses.
Yeah. The commander comes out. His name is Helios, and he basically calms Theseus down. He promises that all the poor villagers are going to be protected. But then Helios kicks Lysander out of the army. And we go to Theseus talking to the old man who has decided that he's not going to make the journey to Mount Tartarus. We then go to some unnamed soldiers talking about the Heraclean army, which is Hyperion's army. And Lysander comes and they say, "Oh, I thought you were gone," and he said, "Yeah, I am kicked out," and just kills him instead.
His whole storyline is very bizarre in this movie. It's weird.
It's the same parallel as the 300 Spartan.
Yeah.
Or
Is it?
the one who was supposed to be killed? It's the same thing.
The hunchback guy.
Yeah, the hunchback. They need somebody to betray him,
But he wasn't that important ever. Like, even though he
really.
betrayed him, he was like, he gets beat up by Mickey Rourke later, and then he shows up and then just gets killed immediately. Like,
he gives a little bit of background on Theseus, and that's it.
There's nothing to it.
Yeah. The next scene, we see the old man, and he reveals himself to be Zeus. His daughter Athena shows up, and they have a conversation about Theseus. Zeus believes he is the only human who can lead the people against Hyperion, but it has to be Theseus's choice freely. So the gods can interfere with it.
They can't,
Very clear.
I don't understand this. They can't interfere, but he teaches them how to fight.
Well, no, the gods can't enter. Oh, right.
He's the fake old man who teaches them everything he knew. So they clearly interfered
for this. He's been grooming him for this, but
I
he
guess.
can't just flat out tell him this is why you.
And you can't flat out come down to Earth and help them win.
Yeah.
Right.
It's very bizarre.
Which I would think if you're a god, you can do whatever you want, but
Guess not.
Yeah.
Well,
Get
the
turned
humans
into
have
a-
to figure out on themselves.
Get turned into a shadow
Figure it
if
out
you do.
on their own.
We see Lysander is brought into Hyperion's camp as a defector, and he sees the Iron Bull torture device, which I believe is a real thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. People did fucked up shit back then.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hyperion talks to Lysander.
He's not even that interested in him and his information. He's like, you suck. You're a defector. Why would I want a defector in my army?
Yeah, you're a
Yeah.
traitor. Why would I trust you?
Good
This
point.
is the first time that we hear Hyperion say that he wants the Epirus bow. And he tells Lysander that the Oracle could see where the bow is if she's provoked. And he has one of her monks held captive right next to Lysander. He starts asking where the Oracle is, and the monk, instead of killing himself, cuts out his tongue so he doesn't betray the Oracle. Hyperion then takes Lysander into his camp, but only after having his dick smashed with a hammer so he can't procreate. This was
right.
super unnecessary.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that must have hurt.
Mickey Rourke does spend a lot of time talking about how he wants to end the other Greeks' bloodlines, and he just wants to populate like the whole world with just himself.
We
Just a bunch of
go,
Mickey Rourke's running around.
Yep.
we go to Theseus. He's at the labyrinth entrance and he's looking for the old man.
Oh, what a surprise. You can't find him.
Yep. He has some flashbacks of his training, obviously. And then he notices that the village is on fire and he runs back. The villagers are being slaughtered and he reveals himself when he sees his mother about to be killed. He kills a few soldiers on his way, but he gets captured as Hyperion kills her right in front of him.
Mhm.
Hyperion then sends him to the salt mines because he would be a good worker. We see the gods discuss Hyperion and his armies up on Mount Olympus.
And man, those gods are hot.
Dumb, and hot.
Bunch of hot domes.
It looks like they're all
with stupid helmets.
they're
all their
dressed-
helmets are dumb.
Yeah, they're all dressed like a Vogue fashion shoot for like a cologne.
This movie is
Super-
called Immortals,
Yes.
and we spend about 3 seconds with the Immortals.
With
The
actual
people who
Immortals.
actually want to see in this movie, you spend
Also-
almost no time with.
We spend just enough time with them to find out, hey, actually, you can die. You're not immortal.
Turns out
They
you
can only
die.
be killed. Supposedly, they can be killed by anyone, but they can't die from natural causes. So they can only be killed. So they're not really immortal. But
Whatever.
Yeah.
This movie's stupid.
Zeus says the gods aren't supposed to interfere in the affairs of men unless men release the Titans.
They can fight the Titans, but nobody else.
And he tells the other gods that if they do interfere, they will be killed.
Zeus is going to kill him.
We see
If you try to
Theseus-
help me, kids, I will murder you.
If you try to help me, I'll turn you into a shadow.
We see Theseus and other slaves are carrying huge wooden beams, and they stop at a watering hole where the virgin oracles have been captured by Hyperion. as
Virgin
well.
oracles.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh yeah. Is it a
As-
virgin oracle or just is it virgin?
She is a virgin.
Yes.
She's the virgin oracle. Yeah.
Right.
Phaedra is her name.
Phaedra. Okay.
Phaedra.
So as she's walking by Theseus, she brushes his foot accidentally and sees a vision of him holding the bow
Giving a bro hug to
King Hyperion. Yeah. She gives him a cryptic warning, and then they all start taking a drink from the pool, where she forms a plan with Stavros, the drunk thief.
Stavros.
Later that night, the Oracle and her priestesses.
Oh,
are
we're not going to
discussing
talk about how she baby birded.
Oh yes,
Theseus?
go ahead.
like, kept
Yeah.
the water in her mouth and
Sexy.
poured it into Theseus's mouth.
Sexy.
Yes.
Henry
Stay
Cavill was all about that.
Stay alive.
So yeah, later that night, her and her
Sexier
priestesses
than body temperature backwash.
are gross.
Yeah.
Are discussing what.
What are you
she
doing?
saw.
Stop doing it. It's so gross.
They're all discussing what she saw, and they form a plan to escape. And they escape. Well, she escapes with at least Theseus.
Only
and
her and
Stavros.
those two.
Stavros.
I think they had one or two other guys, but
They had
Probably.
the no tongue guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
yeah.
tongue.
Yeah.
No tongue was with him.
Mm.
She and Theseus talk
Mm.
about nothing, apparently. Hyperion sees the priestesses who were beaten after the escape, and he asks them which of them is the true oracle. And they give him the I am Spartacus treatment.
Oh yeah.
He finds out that there was another one, and obviously she's the true oracle, because why else would she have escaped?
He gives
Hmm.
them the old
Lock him in a bowl.
yeah, and cook
Yeah.
them up.
Let me cook you in a bowl real quick.
The old Dutch oven.
There was a lot of farting going on in that bowl.
Oh,
You know there
Jesus
was. Those oracles were.
Not bad. A Dutch oven's an enclosed.
No, they were farting. They were Dutch ovening inside the Dutch oven. You know they were.
Both are actual Dutch ovens.
Yeah.
Yes, you were both saying the same thing. Yep. Just Mike was giving the real thing, and
Both were happening.
Ryan was giving a gross sex thing.
Dutch oven is not a sex thing.
There's nothing sexy about it.
I don't know what that says about your love life, Wally, but
to Wally.
it turns out in my life, a Dutch oven is not fun and does not arouse me at all. But maybe you like water being dribbled into your mouth by another human being
Oh yeah, definitely.
in Dutch ovens.
So
Put that on your Bumble account.
So we see the Oracle and the other escaped prisoners are talking about what they should do next. Stavros wants to go south and put some distance between him and Hyperion. Theseus decides that he wants to go north, right to Hyperion's camp. The gods are watching as Theseus and his band kill some guards who are trying to steal his ship. They get on the ship, but then are ambushed and outnumbered by more of Hyperion's guards. So Poseidon jumps from Mount Olympus into the sea, forming a giant tidal wave.
Is this Poseidon?
Yes, that
Yes.
was Poseidon.
Yes, he's got the
wasn't his helmet.
he's got the trident.
It wasn't his helmet.
But he's
like-
back later, isn't he?
Conch cells, yeah, Mike.
Isn't he
Yeah, he
back
doesn't-
later? Because the
Yeah, he
trident.
Kill himself.
Yeah, it didn't kill him.
Who dies then?
That's
Hermes.
later.
That's later.
Oh.
This is the oil ocean
Yeah.
right now.
This is the oil ocean that he's jumping into.
I thought somebody died there in this part.
No.
Created a tidal wave that they somehow
Survived.
By jumping behind a wall. That's it.
He had
They
the
jumped behind
entire
a wall.
ocean come out of the ground, and
Yeah.
they survived by hanging out behind a wall.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Theseus knows that the Oracle saw the tidal wave, and she tells him that fate is in his hands. And then she tells him about him holding the bow and embracing Hyperion. He says he'd never do that, and she convinces him to go back to where he's from and bury his mother. We go to Hyperion's camp, and he says, "Send the beast to find the Oracle."
Is this
He goes on to Tartarus.
And the
Go ahead.
beast is the Minotaur.
the beast? Is what's his face? Right.
Kurgan.
Malay.
Kurgan. Yep.
Finally, Kurgan shows up as somebody.
Yes.
He's
So
also the one who
Minotaur-
did the ball smashing earlier.
Oh, he did
Oh,
the ball
yeah.
smash.
Yes, because he just puts on a helmet that looks like a Minotaur.
You can never actually see his face.
Yeah.
He's just smashing balls out here.
Yep. Hyperion's going to go on his way to Mount Tartarus, though. Theseus is back, and back at his village, and he performs the burial rituals. Brings his mother's body into the labyrinth to bury her, and he puts her in a specific tomb, and finds something stuck in that one. So he notices that there's a giant rock. He takes a sledgehammer and breaks the rock open. And what do you
Nobody's
think
ever tried
he
to.
finds? Yeah.
This rock's been here forever in the way. Nobody's ever tried to move it or get rid of it. Let me check it out. Stab in the dark.
Break it open.
Stab in the dark.
And I'm going to find the Epirus bow. Sure, why not?
Which is fucking lame. Let me just say that. After they talk about how awesome it is for so long, and then they show him use it, and it's like
I
this
think it's pretty cool.
CGI
yeah.
bow and arrow is pretty fucking stupid.
But like the string materializes out of nowhere.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Eh.
he's looking at the bow and he's attacked from the shadows and drops the bow. And it's Kurgan, the Minotaur, attacks and he's doing good. He's throwing Theseus around a bit. But then Theseus cuts him with a cleaver in the leg and he gets the advantage and he takes the Minotaur's club and just starts smashing him in the chest and kills him in the middle of the labyrinth before he chops off his head.
You know what else sucks about the bow is that later on we see like the bow being sweet when what's his face gets it, Hyperion gets it, and he like blows up a fucking wall. And Theseus has this thing and never blows up a wall when he has it, right?
Why would he need to?
Yeah.
I don't know, but you should be.
Wait, like at this point, he uses it once to free people, but like to kill
Yeah.
like a couple.
Yeah. Why don't you use it to blow up walls? That's sweet.
We see the Oracle and the others are talking in the village, and one of them falls dead with a knife in his back. They're being captured just as Theseus comes out of the labyrinth. He fires 4 shots of the bow, saving them all. And so I noticed this. When he shot the bow, it didn't look like it was very difficult for him to shoot it.
Yeah.
When Hyperion uses
hard.
it's like a struggle for him.
Yeah,
I
he
thought that
can't
was
do it.
a neat little thing. He does notice an eagle in the sky, and he throws the Minotaur head at it out of frustration.
Yeah, who is the eagle supposed to be?
Zeus.
I think it was
Is it
Hyperion's.
Zeus?
I can't
No.
tell if I couldn't tell if it was Zeus's or Hyperion's.
Yeah,
No clue.
I think it was Hyperion's this time.
Okay.
But, the Oracle is tending to Theseus because he was poisoned in his battle against the Minotaur. He says that his mother was right and that the gods are real, and the Oracle tells him that it was fate that brought him back so he could get the bow. And then they do the dirty.
Yeah.
Bad deal for her. I feel bad.
Bad
for her.
deal. You're not going to get visions anymore.
She loses her
Gonna get-
powers. She gets laid one time.
Gets a
and she gets an
baby.
anchor baby.
I like how these babies work in these movies. 1 sex equals 1 baby.
1 sex. I will have 1 sex, please.
Let's have 1 sex, and you will have 1 baby, and then I will die. And you are going to be stuck with it.
So she loses her gift of foresight because she's no longer a virgin. The next day, the group heads out to the monastery. I don't know why they're going back to the monastery, honestly. Hyperion and his army are camped out at Mount Tartarus. Lysander gives him some information about the gate. Theseus' group arrives at the monastery and they hear a terrible sound. The priest rushes in and tries to push the iron bull over. The oracle's priestesses are trapped in the bull, which has a fire under it, so they're burning alive.
Dutch oven.
The
2 Dutch ovens.
who is it? Theseus and Stavros free the priestesses, but then they get ambushed by Hyperion's guards, and it looks like Theseus loses the bow, where a hyena, for some
Jackal.
reason,
I think it's a jackal.
we'll go with hyena,
Whatever.
steals
No
the
cue, Jack.
Just dismissed
takes
it.
the bow. Yep, takes the bow and runs away. They're about to be attacked when I'm pretty sure it's Hermes arrives and he kills all of Hyperion's guards.
I think that's Ares, isn't it? The god of war, hence the anger.
That's who I took it to be, but
I thought no, it was Hermes, the fast guy.
Yeah, I don't
It was
know.
Hermes.
Who
Whatever.
knows? They didn't say any of the gods' names because who would want to know?
in a movie called Immortals, we don't talk about any gods really at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Athena also arrives and she gives Theseus some horses just before Zeus arrives.
But she doesn't get killed.
Yeah.
No. Well, she's his daughter.
Favoritism.
Isn't that
Nepotism.
also
Yeah.
his son, though? Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing, Zeus?
Kills Hermes with a flaming whip. He tells Theseus that no god will come to his aid again, and it's up to him alone to save his people.
So angry.
Super angry.
Even though I trained you for your whole life.
Yeah. You're the
That
guy
doesn't-
who turns into cows and has sex with people.
True. That's a true. Yep. Yep.
It really happened. Thank you, Wally.
Yep. They arrive at Mount Tartarus the next morning, and their horses immediately die.
Yeah, why did we need that? Why did we need that?
Just so that
Why do
could
we
get
need this
them
movie?
quickly there, I guess.
Mount
Hyperion's
Tower Sauce.
Hyperion's hyena arrives with the Epirus bow, and he's told that the gods interfere to protect Theseus. He knows that the messenger is the only one who saw this, so he kills the messenger, so his armies aren't scared out of their minds that they're going to have to fight gods.
They don't.
Yeah, they don't have to.
They don't eventually.
They never do.
Can we once again just talk about how incredibly dark, not like scary or weird, but
You
like
can't see a damn
you
thing.
can't see anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
At night, you cannot see anything. I had to turn my monitor up to full brightness.
It's all those.
So bad.
Who did this movie? Who directed
Some
it?
foreign dude.
Tarson Singh,
Sing.
who
Let
also
me tell
directed-
you also one little fact about this movie. It's very hard to find a movie within the last 10 years that's free on YouTube to watch. But you can find this one. They're not blocking it. They're not stopping you from watching it.
Did Zack
find
Snyder have anything to do with this movie?
No,
Like,
this,
did he
It
produce
appears
it?
he did. Like visually, it
really-
looks like he should have, but he
Yeah.
did
no,
not.
it's just it's a rip off. It's
Trope.
just a rip off of 300.
Yeah. Well, it's on YouTube.
Produced
If
by
you,
a 300, two people from 300, and then some other people.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, so producers.
Yeah. So that's why it's got the same dark feel
Yeah.
as Zack Snyder's
shit.
stuff.
Which, when you watch 300 back now, it doesn't hold up as well as you think.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It's been a while.
We
Zack
go
Snyder
on.
ever made a good movie?
What'd you
Yeah.
say?
Has Zack Snyder ever made a good movie?
That
He's
Dawn
made a
of,
lot of bad ones.
that Dawn of the Dead I consider a very good movie.
The Dawn of the Dead remake,
Yeah, I really like that.
The Thing Rames. That's a good movie.
Yeah. What else did he make?
Watchmen.
Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Gaza Kahoo.
No, don't make us watch that, please.
You're not gonna say that.
Please don't make us watch that.
I'll say this: Dawn of the Dead I enjoyed. 300 at the time I enjoyed. I'll defend Watchmen. I liked Watchmen. And I liked Man of Steel. I'll say that much. I liked Man of Steel.
Not like Man of Steel.
I don't like his visuals. I don't like
He hasn't
the way
done anything
visually-
good, at least since then, right?
300 is the only one of those movies I've seen.
Anyway.
Okay, back to the movie.
Yep.
We're on Mount Olympus, and Athena asks if they are at war as the other gods mourn Hermes' death, or whoever's death it was. And then that's it. Hyperion wants information about Theseus from Lysander. Theseus tells Helios and his leader that Hyperion has the Epirus bow, but they don't believe him. Hyperion sends a delegation to talk to Theseus. Theseus comes to the guard gate and yells to the delegation, but they tell him to walk out to them and actually speak to him. They speak, and Hyperion reveals himself. He's actually the one talking to him. Archers appear out of the fog to stop Theseus from attacking Hyperion immediately. Hyperion offers him a spot at his table, but Theseus declines, and he goes back and he seals the gate. The oracle is praying, and Theseus doubts himself, but she reassures him. And then immediately Hyperion uses the bow to destroy the gate.
Yeah, this is when the bow's cool. He can blow up walls.
Yeah. The Greeks retreat from the front of the gate to the back of the tunnel, where Theseus stops them from fleeing and persuades them to fight as
It's a
Hyperion.
fucking terrible speech.
Yeah, as Hyperion's army attacks. They all fight in the tunnel under the wall. Theseus shows off his fighting prowess again.
Well,
Theseus.
these fights aren't even good. Like,
No.
they're not. like interesting. It's just
Boring.
always like a side-scrolling.
He's ducking
Side-scroller.
and driving and
Yeah,
spearing people
yeah.
like it's no issue.
So
Well, yeah, but it's just like they're not interesting fights.
Hyperion enters the gate, takes a right immediately, and goes up the stairs to the top of the tower, which,
I like this part where what was it, the king or whatever he is up
yeah,
there and he's like, "Oh, so you want to negotiate?" He's like, "Just chop your head off, whatever.
chop your head off.
Keep on trucking."
Uh, Theseus kills Lysander in the tunnel.
Easy.
Mhm.
No real like cool like let's get revenge on this guy. He's just like, you're dead.
Yep.
You're also dead.
Hyperion then uses the bow at the top of the wall to enter the mountain. Theseus then realizes where he is, and he and Stavros fight to the front of the gate and then up the stairs to the top of the wall. They find Hyperion in the mountain looking down at the imprisoned Titans. Hyperion shoots the bow and releases the Titans.
All right. In the beginning, when
we
we
did
see
just give
the
over like 15 minutes of fighting, and as Mike said, it's the same fight.
nothing happens.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the movie, when they show the Titans and they have like the poles or whatever in the box,
And
whatever that was, they looked a lot cooler and more menacing than when they actually show them fight
They're
later.
just
Yeah.
like
Tiny
small
Like
dudes.
stone people.
Yeah.
They're just like the Titans are like
Yeah.
gargantuan giants.
Yeah.
But these dudes are just like
Dudes.
small.
That's
little-
why when they first showed it, it was them in that box,
Yeah.
and then there was big stone figures holding it up. And I
Yeah.
thought those big stone figures were not just art. I thought they were the Titans.
Yeah, because Atlas
No.
Atlas was a Titan, and Atlas,
Supposed to be the one holding the world.
yes,
But isn't Atlas fighting with them later on?
no,
That's what I read in the description. Atlas is fighting.
Atlas is
with
not
the
in
gods.
this movie.
I
Oh.
thought he was.
I don't think so.
No, Apollo. I'm sorry.
Apollo.
Oh, yeah.
Apollo was fighting with the gods. He gets whacked.
So there's a big blast because the bow destroys the prison. Stavros ends up in the pit, and he's got the bow.
Somehow he ends up with a bow.
And the Titans kill him as the gods show up. Zeus throws his hammer and destroys the bow, then tells Theseus to leave and find Hyperion. We get the gods versus the Titans fight, but it's
Not good.
it's awful. Awful.
Bad, and it's short, and the gods are not good fighters.
No.
All of them die.
Theseus exits back out to the shrine and is attacked by Hyperion in the shadows, who stabs him twice. They start fighting. Then we go back to the gods. Athena is killed. There's another god killed before her. Theseus is beaten down. He's about to be killed as well. Poseidon is about to be killed, and so Zeus gets on top of the prison and lifts up some magical ropes that are tied to the giant statues that Bill mentioned.
And bring down
Yeah.
the mountain.
So he can't. He's a god, but he can't win against the Titan. So he's just going to collapse the whole mountain on him.
Exactly. So he pulls the walls down. Theseus stabs Hyperion in the foot, and they wrestle for the knife.
Even their fight sucks.
Oh yeah, it's real
Yeah, it's
bad.
not good.
Theseus eventually overpowers him and stabs him in the throat. Zeus finishes collapsing Mount Tartarus.
But somehow he's fine.
He grabs Athena's body and he escapes out of the mountain.
Poseidon also escapes.
No, Poseidon does not.
Yep,
No, he doesn't.
It's just Zeus.
Poseidon dies. But obviously he can.
Well, two beams go up though. So is that Athena?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, they escape. It looks like they're being beamed up. It's
Star Trek
dumb.
style.
Theseus is also about to be killed in the collapse, but he is beamed up as well. Then we get a voiceover that explains that Theseus had a son with the oracle. The son touches the statue, which is dedicated to Theseus, and he has a vision of like the
More
sky.
gods versus titans up in the air.
Yeah. The old man appears, and he tells him not to worry, that a war is coming to the heavens, and his father will be fighting for their future. And the war is between the gods and the titans raging on in the sky. That's Immortals, 2011. It was not very good.
Very bad. This movie stinks.
I watched this on 2X, and it's still
slow.
It's still dragged.
Yeah,
this movie stinks.
Yeah, it was not good.
Well, you know how to pick them.
It's a mistake.
I do. Well, I'm trying to pick stuff that I haven't seen before, so.
Well, you can cross this one off your list, and the rest of you, if you haven't seen it, just cross it off your list. Don't even bother.
Yeah.
Don't even bother.
Good advice.
Don't even bother. It's so bad, it's not even fun.
No.
Bad. And Henry Cavill is...
It's boring bad. He's not a good actor, I'm sorry.
Oh, what?
He's great in Mission Impossible.
I think he's really
boring. He's just boring.
Watch Mission Impossible 7 or 8 or whatever, 9, whatever it is. He's good enough.
I think I've watched the first 2 or 3 Mission Impossible.
God, why don't people get on this train? Mission Impossible is so good.
I think he's a great Superman. It's just
the Superman stories are terrible.
No, I just think I liked Man of Steel, but the rest of the
stories sucked.
If given the correct Superman movie, I think he'd be terrific.
He could be.
I'm bored with Superman. Like I've never really been a fan of Superman. So, I mean, he's got the perfect look for a Superman, but I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea.
He's had to deal with bad writing though, so.
True. Maybe he should stop picking bad projects.
I mean, if someone says you can be Superman tomorrow, you're signing up for that.
Yeah, really.
Okay.
You're signing up for that as an actor, probably.
Yeah.
But, okay. That's enough Immortal talk.
It's so bad.
Sucked. It sucks.
Who's up next?
Yeah, who's up?
Is it Bill? Me?
I believe it's Mike.
Mike.
Oh.
What you got, Booker Man?
I was thinking of us playing a game.
It's a great idea.
Playing that Book It game on, you know what? On a website.
On a website.
At www.website.com. Ever heard of it?
www.website.com.
Would we
Ash
be
Jeeves.
doing this ourselves and playing it, or would we be watching you play it? And
no, we'd all play.
We'd all be playing it. We'd be
playing a game live, pal.
We'd be playing a game called Book It.
Okay.
I like the idea. I feel like, though, we should do this. We should probably not talk about this on the air. I hate when people do this, but I feel like we should do it on like a Wednesday or Thursday just to make sure it doesn't suck.
We should most definitely pre-plan.
And if it sucks, like we'll record it. If it's good, we'll make it the episode.
Because I was trying to play through it. I was trying to play through it. It's most definitely an interesting game. Like I think if like we play it, like I think it'd be a fun game. I was thinking of having us play something, but like with that game I had, we were playing the other night with the poker, that Jackbox game.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But I couldn't figure out a way
didn't come up.
To make it wrestling.
None of your stuff came up?
No.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to make it wrestling. Although the only thing I seem to be able to draw is one thing.
Well, there's lots of.
I can't draw with my finger on a mouse very well.
There's lots of different games you can play. There's like trivia stuff.
I think that's a solid option because that was very fun. I could have just done that instead of poker.
Thinking of having us do that for a segment, but then I was like, I don't know how you could do that for a segment. So I don't know.
So how are we gonna play this game? Because what I'm seeing, I have to pay for it, and that's not gonna happen.
We'll talk about it in a second. We'll tell you how it's gonna work. We'll tell you how it's gonna work.
All right.
Listen up. We'll tell you how it's gonna work. So is that what we're doing? We're doing book
Yeah,
it.
we'll do that.
All right, we're playing book it. We may be recording this early, just to make sure it works, though, because that might be a good idea. Or at least play once, so the second time we play, it's better than the first time. But
Yeah.
all right, book it. That's what we're doing. We're playing the game Book It, which you should go and subscribe to our YouTube channel because that's where it's going to be the most fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Nation Wrestling on YouTube. Go find it there, and you can see our ugly mugs playing this game. All right, that's it. Peace out. Immortals sucks. Anything else to say?
So dark.
So you can't.
So long.
You can't see. So long. Even though it wasn't that long. It's like an hour and 50 minutes, but
It was like
Yeah.
4 hours long.
Hour and 40 minutes. Yeah.
felt like 4 hours too long. All right, that's it. We got to pay next week. Book it. Peace out.